I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Oops the Podcast. I'm Giulio Gallarotti. If you want to be a tool about it.
Mm-hmm.
If I start introducing myself, I'm Giulio Gallarotti. It's so fucking annoying. I'm joined by Frankie Flowers over here.
Frankie, baby.
Francis Ellis. What a clunky intro.
It's all right.
How you doing, buddy?
Solid. Feeling good. I really am. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do I look like a guy that you think that you want to like tell secrets to? People love telling me secrets, dude.
Oh, really?
Like sorta. And even like people, dude, like the house I used to live in, everybody who worked there would like tell me all their secrets or just like confide in me about shit. Or like,
is that a burden to you? Do you find that to be burdensome?
It depends on the day. Like some days I'm not in the mood and other days it's fine, you know? Like,
but here's my question, right? Let's say that one person tells you a secret that you think that another person needs to know.
Oh.
But then you're very conflicted. Do you ever get caught in the middle?
So this is the thing. I don't think anybody would tell me a secret that I felt that I needed to tell the other person involved.
But not everyone has that level of discretion.
That's true.
Not everyone has the ability to know.
I would say that that's a unique enough situation that I don't worry about it.
Mm.
But like, dude, like this one guy, he would come and he go, Julio. He goes, you like when the girl had the tattoo above her butt, Julio? And I'd be like, yeah, I guess, dude. And he was like, oh, I love that shit, man. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck?
Is that a secret?
So no, but like, fine. That's not he would tell me secrets also. Like he would gossip about the other people, but they would just tell me like things that like you wouldn't feel comfortable telling anybody.
Yeah.
Like him telling me the things he's into sexually and then like getting excited about it was like, it felt like on secret level. I find that's not a secret.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, because he can't say that to everybody.
Right. Like I'm this guy who you can say stuff to.
Uh-huh.
So maybe secret isn't even the right, but they would also tell me secrets or just like these like personal stories. Julio. I'm like, dude, what's up? Like, I don't know. Just like all the time. And then like, I'll just find myself in these situations where people are telling me shit. And I'm like, do they realize like how much they're telling me?
Uh-huh.
This isn't even like a humble brag. Like I'm like some guy you can talk to. Like I'm not even, I don't think I posture myself as that.
Mm.
But then I find myself getting my like people's life stories, even just like comics. But I guess comics just do that. I don't know, whatever.
You know what I did for the first time the other day? I haven't done it in a long time.
What?
I lied.
Oh wow! About what and to who?
Honestly, I don't. This is sad. I can't even really remember. But I remember being like, "Ooh, that didn't feel great," and oh, good. I haven't done that in a really long time. I think I had to lie. I think I had to. Oh, I got out of, oh
boy.
I got out of something really, really big and expensive. A mistake that I had made.
Do tell.
And I had to come up with a compelling reason as to why I could no longer do the thing.
It was like a social thing?
It's something I've talked about on the podcast, but I have this fear that if they hear me talking about it, they'll know that I had lied.
I think I now know what it is, though, by the way.
I think I could say it. I got out of that hotel I'd booked in Napa.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you got out of the wedding photographer lunch. So I'm glad that we clarified.
No.
What do you mean it got out of it? Why you canceled?
Correct.
Okay. Can we get this whole fucking story, please? Francis is hitting me with these updates that is making me feel like we've detached as friends. Like he's giving me these casual updates that I don't know.
Well, you're the guy that's, telling everyone about how dudes, like tattoos on the girls' butts, and you're just clearly not the lockbox we thought
I'm
you were.
a breach.
You're a sieve.
What's that?
A sieve is a device that is typically used, I think, to like sift fine powders and leave sediment at the top.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to look that up, Ryan. You see it with people use a sieve to
Like archaeologists?
make flour or powdered sugar more fine than it is.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what.
But
that is.
another reason to use it would be if, let's say that you went panning for gold.
Yeah, you use the thing,
And it would, you go
Yeah.
like that, and it would leave the gold on the top, and
got it.
everything else would shake through. I think that's right.
Ryan
Something
has
like
given
that.
us a thumbs
Yeah.
up.
So a sieve can also be used as sort of a metaphorical meaning,
To
meaning
get
somebody
to
who
the-
lets things through.
Got it.
And you are the
I am
sieve.
that.
Yeah. Another use would be sometimes you call a goalie a sieve.
Oh, interesting.
To
If he's a
heckle
bad
them
goalie,
if they're
right.
letting all the shots in.
Well, I am not a sieve. I
No.
take offense to that, but you can continue. You can continue the story now.
So, I had booked our Napa trip and went for the most expensive hotel in, as far as I can tell, the Western Hemisphere.
So you didn't cancel the trip. You just changed hotels.
Well, that was the only thing we really had booked. We have one wine tasting booked so far,
Okay.
but
Wait, but so you did cancel the trip?
I canceled the hotel, and
Okay.
I'm on my way to potentially canceling the trip.
Interesting.
The trip is not necessarily on anymore.
Got it.
And the big part of this is that, frankly, I got home from Miami. I had 3 checks waiting for me on the counter. I've told this story.
Yeah.
I deposited all of this money into my account with the mobile app, and instantly my account was at a higher number than I'd seen it at in a long, long time. And I said, okay, good. Let's spend as much money as we want.
You're the fucking Big Daddy Dilf.
Yeah. 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 Well, I went and I did it. And then, you make so many irrational decisions. Like, I need to spend over, I need to hit my 6 month spending minimum on my new credit card in order to unlock all these points. So this will get me there. That's
Have you not
useful.
already unlocked it?
Of course I have.
Yeah.
Many times over.
It's not, yeah. Which, by the way, we have to make the announcement. Francis is officially has used all of his referrals.
I've maxed my code bonuses. So
if you want the card, hit me up.
yeah,
now.
if you want the Amex Platinum card, DM Julio for his referral code so he can get some bonus points. Thank you to all of you who signed up using my code.
Dude, that's sick. You could use points for that
Yeah,
shit.
solid. So anyway, I was researching this Napa trip thinking like, man, I deserve a treat. It's my birthday. I've had a good year, whatever. Got some money. And I booked the most expensive hotel
On planet Earth.
basically I've ever seen. And then, a month goes by and we start talking about our honeymoon, and the reality of having to pay for that sets in. And I also, my crypto holdings
Oh yeah, it's been a tough couple
took a
weeks.
huge tumble, as did my equities holdings. And, some bills came up and all of this, and I just started panicking.
Mm.
And I'm looking at this outstanding balance that I'm going to have to pay, so much of which is this friggin' hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, God
Fuck that,
almighty,
yeah.
if I could just get out of that,
Yeah.
that would really add
Some
a
padding.
couple inches to my belt loops,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
loosen the belt a little. And so I called the American Express hotline, help people
Hotline.
or whatever, the people, the
it's
suicide
the
prevention
American
hotline at American Express. And I said, I'm really having a tough time. I've booked this trip. It was a non-refundable
Oh,
hotel reservation.
rough.
And they said, we'll try to deal with this for you. And they said, why are you not able to go on the trip anymore? And I remember taking a breath and being like, I have to lie right now.
Yeah.
I have to lie.
Oh, this is the lie.
This is the lie.
Okay.
And I came up with a lie that I'm not proud of,
Wow.
because it has a bad karmic
Oh no.
element
Someone
to it.
died?
No,
Okay.
but
That's good.
no, nobody died.
I don't wish that upon
Nobody
you.
died, but it's definitely a thing where if I'm not even going to tell you what the lie was, and I don't mean to be coy, but if somehow that thing that I said were to now happen,
Everyone would be like, see?
I would know 100% was because I had used it as a lie to get out of this hotel booking.
You seem like a guy who would consider himself too smart to believe in superstition.
Come on, Julio. This is a very specific lie. You tell
dude,
me that happens, and
I
then,
don't feel that way. I am completely about eerie karma stuff. Like that freaks me out. Even though I don't like fully believe in it, I still don't want to like put it out there. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you believe in it. Like I feel like if I were to say this, you would go, Julio.
Yeah. All right. Yes. I appreciate that. But does that mean, even if you don't believe it, does that mean that you should still tempt fate?
No, because it's just like having anything kind of looming is just like shitty.
I have no interest in poking the karma puppet master.
Yeah, there's no there's no point in doing
Because I hope that he does not have his eye on me. I do not want to catch his eye.
that. Right,
There's no reason to.
right.
And so I should not have lied. And what I realized afterward was that I could have just told the credit card people, I can't go on this trip. I can't tell you why. Personal reasons, something vague. See what you can do. Do you know what I mean?
And they'd be like, I'm sorry, Mr. Ellis, and thank you for being a card member with us for 10 years, but
Yeah.
you're going to have to provide a specific answer. We won't be able to.
They're not going to push
refund
me.
your money.
They're not going to put. American Express is not in the business of prying for personal details about why you can't go to a friggin' Napa hotel anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But to Amex's credit, they called the hotel, explained the situation, and to the hotel's credit, they granted an exception and gave me a full refund.
It's great.
And I breathed the deepest sigh of relief, and then instantly booked a very expensive ski trip to Colorado.
So I don't understand. So what?
Completely-
That makes no sense then.
Well-
Where's the sigh of relief coming from? Is it much less expensive? Was it just like more affordable given all the
We
market turmoil?
had
and-
determined that we were going to go on this ski trip, and I was more excited for that. It is less expensive.
Okay.
It's half the price.
Okay, cool. And that's like a social thing too, right? Aren't
By-
you meeting people there?
Yes, by freeing up the capital from the hotel in California, I felt like I had enabled myself to go on the trip to Colorado.
It's like refinancing, like pulling some
Yes.
cash out of the deal.
Yeah,
You know?
I took out a second mortgage on my vacation plans.
But it is funny, like when things are going well, you think they're going to keep going well. You're like, oh, I've invested my money so well, and then a time comes where it doesn't matter what you're invested in, you're getting crushed. As Brent says, escalator ride up, elevator ride down. Insane.
The man is just like a walking fortune cookie. How does he have no end
It's
to
incredible.
these isms?
And dude, he's always been like that since he was like young. We've known each other for many years. It's pretty crazy. But I feel you on that. It does
He's
get
a
stressful.
walking Snapple cap.
Yeah. But because it's nice to be like, okay, even if I have a slow month or something, like I can breathe easy because I've made so much money in the market that I'm cool to like take some out if I need to. But then when it shuts down, you don't want to touch it. So then it's like a little more stressful. Is that how you feel?
100%. 100%. I'm really not great with money. Unfortunately. Did I tell you this? I don't want to retread already trodden ground. But that I can trace my life. I was thinking about this. I can trace my life in a series of fads that I have followed.
Oh, interesting. You haven't, no, but this is fun to.
I was thinking about this. I can go through my life from stages of things that I desperately wanted
Interesting.
and thought I needed. So when I was very young, loved Star Wars. I go back to first grade, 6 years old, saw Star Wars: A New Hope for the first time, obsessed. started buying these Star Wars action figures that they had at the toy store in the Yarmouth Mall.
That's episode 4,
Yeah.
right? I didn't realize it was called New Hope.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And they were $6.99 at the toy store, and I would make $1 a week for all the chores that I did around the house.
Wow.
Which, by the way, were like
That's
hard chores.
That's indentured servantry, dude.
I would make $1 a week, so every 7 weeks I could buy a new toy, a new action figure, and that's what I would do.
In a way, that is indentured servantry. Like you're working the land for like a very subtracted wage so that you one day get to own it, which is literally what was going to happen.
Yeah, but I wasn't buying the land. I was buying toys. I was buying Obi-Wan Kenobi figures with lightsabers that would snap if you so much as breathed on them.
That's funny.
And I was desperate for these. And then somehow that fad ended and Beanie Babies took over.
Oh, I was obsessed with those too.
And then I was obsessed with Beanie Babies, and I was just hunting them, and I was, consumed by my desire to earn the money to buy more Beanie Babies and find out where they were going to be restocked. And I bought one of those value guides that told you what they were trading for, and
me too.
Dude,
Chris Bull was this kid in our school that knew all about Beanie Babies. He's like the dark blue peanut, dude.
Yeah,
that's the rarest one.
Yeah.
I used to collect them too. Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
Christmas bear. I have a few, and now I've just like given them to relatives. Like,
Yeah. I still have a huge bag of them in my childhood bedroom. That,
so funny.
It's just molding.
Okay, but you're a kid in all these situations, so like that is not something.
All right, so fast forward. Bear with me. This is a
I'm
long.
not trying to.
This is a long journey of consumer greed and unnecessary infatuation with products. So we moved from Beanie Babies to basketball cards. In 5th and 6th grade, I got really into the NBA and was obsessed with Michael Jordan, as many kids were. And I was buying, replica jerseys and pack after pack after pack of Topps 1998 basketball cards, hunting for, insert cards and stuff like that. And then I got into Pokemon cards.
Really?
Yep. Just for a short minute. But again, I'm following trends. It was always wanting to do what I saw other people doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in high school, probably some clothes, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
CDs I really liked. Whatever. I'm not gonna. Those are pretty generic. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, but CDs also like there's there's utility.
True. So then let's jump now to Sneakers. Great. Perfect. Yeah. Obsessed. I became obsessed with buying sneakers. I had like 35 pairs of sneakers at one point. I had so many. Do you remember when you guys saw my old sneaker collection?
Yeah.
I just kept getting them. I had an amazing hookup, and I thought because I had this way in that I had an edge somehow, and that I needed to fulfill this itch, and got over that. Fortunately, was able to sell a few, claw my way back. Now it's watches. Now my whole Instagram feed is populated with watches, watch accounts. I'm looking up watches on eBay, thinking about what I can get, when can I get my next one, all that stuff. And crypto too. I mean, I would put crypto into this as a fad that I'm following. And it's just like, when will I ever determine what I want for myself, independent of what other people want or are making me think is cool in that I should have?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? When can I find my own footing about what makes me happy?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I don't know. There's a couple things here. It's like, okay, getting fun, like having a new fun thing to collect is fun. But like, then one would also ask, is that a thing? Like, is it more valuable to try to find some like inner happiness because getting stuff can't make you happy? Or is that not relevant here? Like, you have inner happiness, and therefore it's okay to like also collect stuff. And like, who cares if it's the popular thing? It's the popular thing for a reason. It doesn't like make you a follower per se. You know what I mean? It's a hobby.
That's a nice thought, and I'm with you. However, I look at the things that I've chosen, and they were such obvious choices. They were such the trending thing.
So, dude, I to be honest, besides Star Wars and watches, I have been obsessed with every single thing you listed too. And like, maybe you were more obsessed than I was. Like, maybe I didn't quite have as many sneakers as you. In 2006, did I spend $450 on a pair of patent leather bathing apes that then cracked at the seams a week later? Yes. Yeah, blue. They were black and green Planet of the Apes Bapes, and they were like pieces of garbage.
Were those the NMDs, the Adidas ones?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if it was like some rare thing. So anyway, maybe I wasn't in as deep as you, but like, you know, everybody and so if you think maybe you have like an unhealthy, like you take it to the next level with all this stuff, you know, maybe that makes this a valuable conversation. But like, I too was obsessed with Beanie Babies. I had the guide. I was obsessed with basketball cards, sneakers too. It sounds like you had more than me, but like whatever. And then I like crypto too. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's not necessarily bad.
Well, I guess what I would love to do is to find something that truly makes me happy, that I discovered myself, that other people don't like or maybe don't even think is cool, and I just don't care because it makes me happy.
Right.
I'd love to find that so that I can have one thing where I'm like, that is a self-determined joy. That is a self-determined passion, hobby, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, I start collecting tulip bulbs,
Right.
growing rare flowers, or I don't know what it would be. Something that,
dude, I have an exercise for you that I recommend. So like one night after you have a party, find an empty glass with some leftover lime in it. Pour yourself some like room temperature tequila and go on my YouTube liked videos and watch them all until the sun comes up. You will have officially taken on a hobby that no one else likes. And there'll be some bangers in there.
likes doing that. I feel like that's one. I see the footsteps in front of me.
That's what I prescribe. 7 Carol G music videos in a row.
Well, I did bring this up, by the way, to my therapist.
Okay.
And I said, you know, I think part of the problem is that I am surrounded by people in my life who have the financial means to pursue these hobbies with no, you know, with no fear that it's going to impact their life financially. It's not like they're sacrificing on rent or anything to buy.
But are you?
Not really, but I certainly, I mean, let's put it this way, like that hotel situation, I did not need to stay at the #1 nicest hotel in Napa.
Mm-hmm.
I could have stayed at the 12th nicest hotel for a third of the price.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had never known that there was a nicer hotel, I would have thought it was the sickest trip we'd ever been on.
So the problem sounds like to me that you feel bad that you can't stay at the best hotel. There is the issue to me. What's wrong with having a nice treat? You know what I mean? But like, you shouldn't feel like, oh, I wish I could easily afford the best one.
Well, what I've said before is that it gives me peace of mind when I've
Do the best thing.
done the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sick to me.
I agree. It's sick.
Because the fear of missing, I have FOMO I have luxury FOMO, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to have the best like experience.
Something about knowing it is the best makes me think I'm enjoying it more, which is a total fallacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my therapist said the way to combat this is to go do an experience or do a trip or whatever it is where you don't do the nicest thing and you don't stay in the nicest places and you don't eat at the best restaurants. Quick aside, perfect example. The night we were out with our ladies
Mm-hmm.
on the double date,
Yes.
we were struggling to find a restaurant to go to,
Yeah.
right? Now, there were hundreds of restaurants that we could have gone to.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds
Right.
in New York City. That would have been fantastic. We would have had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
But we kept insisting on limiting our search criteria to these restaurants that we know that have name recognition, you know, the places that we are desperate to go to, that everyone likes to go to. And of course, those are the hardest ones to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And we kept walking around, striking out of these places and being like, man, it's impossible to get a reservation in New York City. What's crazy? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Go to the place next door.
And it'll be fine.
That is, still a New York City restaurant. That's great.
Yeah.
And we would have enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I felt like a little out of my league and during that conversation because you guys like knew like I don't own that like knowledge of the best restaurants.
Nor do I.
I've been to some and they're amazing every time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to act like I don't like doing that. Of course I do. But like you guys were like, oh, this place, that place, this place, and I'd heard of some of them and some of them I hadn't heard of. But full disclosure, I was like trying to like act like I knew about stuff, and I like didn't as much as I was giving off.
I have the most
I was trying though.
basic bitch knowledge. The names I'm throwing out because I've heard them on, Sex in the City or like fucking Gossip Girl or something.
I wasn't sneak dissing you there, dude. I'm like,
You sneak diss.
I was not sneak dissing. I wasn't.
I've never heard that term.
Then the sneak diss is like when you're like secretly shitting on somebody without while making it seem like you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could have come off as me saying, well, I don't even think about this stuff. So you guys were talking about restaurants that I didn't even know. Like I sincerely was trying to keep up with the conversation. I also happen to like nice restaurants, and dude, everybody has their thing that they like. So like, it's okay to like, if you want to go get a good meal, like I was very down for that. I was excited to like see you get excited about food. Because when you like food a lot, it makes me excited about it. So you're like, this is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, but dude, I just feel like a sheep because everybody has their thing that they like. All the things that I like are the things that other people like. Our buddy Ryan is a listener of the pod and great guy. He and his girl Paige, wonderful people. Ryan made this point, he said something like, truly rich people do not feel the need to buy things that show how rich they are.
It's very true.
In fact, they kind of go the opposite way. Warren Buffett lives his life as though he's a friggin', door-to-door insurance salesman.
Right.
You just meet that guy on the street. You think maybe he's a high school principal, but you don't think he's one of the richest men on earth. And
you only need to flex when you don't got it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you're in the middle somewhere and you're desperately trying to be accepted by the people ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I find that I don't know what it is. I just think that I'm like determining my desires based on what the crowd wants.
I find it interesting. One thing I like about this about you is like, it's very uncommon for a comedian to like have this problem, which it's like,
yeah, it's not a comedy problem. It's my Ivy League friends problem.
Right, but it like every comedian, like their biggest problems are typically comedy problems, regardless of the other shit in their life. Like there's plenty of comedians who are like who are tapped into all of this kind of stuff, but like that isn't like their first concern. So to like see you have like normal New York person concerns that aren't tied to comedy is like a nice thing, I think.
Well, I'm happy to be that foil for you. But listen, to end what my therapist said is she said, go do something that is not the fanciest. Go fly. By the way, I don't give a shit about flying fancy. I fly coach, middle seat. I don't really care. In fact, did I tell you that I've come to enjoy the middle seat?
What?
A little bit.
I hate the middle
I
seat.
flew in the middle seat recently, and here's the big silver lining to flying in the middle seat. When you land, you can text eavesdrop.
You can watch them.
You can watch the people on your left and the person on your right start. The first thing everybody does the second the plane wheels touch the ground is they pull out their phone, they turn off airplane mode, and they start texting. And you can watch both your seat partners and read their conversations. I'm sorry to be nosy, but watching people text is one of my favorite things in the entire world. You can learn so much about a person based on how they text. I watched this girl. She was like composing a message to a group chat. And by the way, if she started to text like personal details, I would have had the decency to look away. I promise. I'm not a monster. But this was just a meaningless conversation. Like, where should we go to dinner tonight? Where are we meeting? And she's like, just landed. And she started responding with like, I don't know. I'm down for whatever. Right. But she didn't like the wording of that. So then she went back and deleted the whole thing. And then she went and she wrote it again, like, I'm cool, whatever you guys want. But she didn't like, then she stopped herself. And watching someone's mind kind of do the mental gymnastics of like, how do I want to word the most basic text was fun to watch. Fun to watch, so much so that I didn't even pick up my own phone. I was like, I got a show unfolding right here on my right. Oh my God, guy on my left, he's texting his son, did you order drinks on the hotel room last night? This is when we were coming back from Miami. And because he had like a big room charge, and his son was like, no. And he's like, well, somebody did. So he's like mad at his son. And I'm watching this and I'm like, man, there's so much going on here and I'm loving it. It's very intimate.
That is fun. That's fun.
Very intimate to text eavesdrop.
It's a fun exercise.
Text drop, whatever it is. But anyway, the point is, I'm going in all kinds of directions right now. I have no problem flying coach, obviously, whatever. Fine.
I don't mind either.
I'm a little uncomfortable. It's obviously less comfortable, but I don't give a shit. I'm not going to pay 5x or 4x more to have more legroom in first class or some bullshit. Then my therapist was like, why don't you go do a trip where you don't stay in the nicest hotel, you don't go to the fanciest place, you don't eat at the nicest meals, and realize you're still having a great time. In fact, some of my best times, this was her, she was like, some of my best experiences have been at those less top tier things because you meet more interesting people.
And you're like, well, you don't know what you're missing out on. The duck fritters at Jean Georges.
But you do. You meet more interesting people. You meet, I think you have a diversity of experience. And Julia, this speaks to your ethos on traveling. You're not traveling to Imanjara and 5-star resorts. You're going for the sake of experience. You know yourself well enough to know you don't need to stay in the fanciest places.
That's true. I also, right. So, but this is the other thing. Like, there's a time where there's a trip where I would like to stay in a fancier place, and then other trips where I don't care. You know what I mean? Like when we went to Greece, we stayed in like a really fancy hotel.
Right.
And that was great. But like, I definitely don't need to do it everywhere I go, I guess. But like, then that begs the question. It's like, are the places that don't offer that experience worth going to? I say definitely. And you are undecided.
Well,
dude,
yeah.
Listen, I think like I don't feel like you need to feel so guilty about all this. Like, fuck it, dude, lean into it. You're a fucking fancy ass bitch, dude. Enjoy that shit.
Yeah, but I haven't
be the
always
queen
been,
that you are.
I haven't always been, and I don't know when I made the turn. I don't know when I made the turn of thinking that every time I travel or do something, I need to have.
Right.
I have to at least look at what the nicest version of that is.
And so to your point before, though, you maybe fear that it's like the people who you're in the mix with, if they're all doing that, then you're more likely to value that. And you're
my crowd and my friends have sort of reset what I understand to be the standard of experience.
Right.
The bar is extremely high. And I'm not even like talking about trips that I go on with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very lucky in that Sierra is not like this,
Right.
where
Yeah.
she does not insist that we stay at the nicest places or go to the nicest restaurants or anything like that. It's me. This is a me problem.
Okay, but dude, I have heard her say that that you guys really like going out for a nice meal.
We do.
What is wrong with that?
No, nothing. It's just that why do I feel like if one of the 8 restaurants that I know, if all of the 8 restaurants that I know are booked, that somehow there's nowhere else to eat that would make us happy. Like we're striking out. Boy.
Well, okay. So, in that situation, it's time to like pull out the fucking research, right? Find another fucking sick spot because there are an endless number of them if you look long enough, right?
Yeah.
So say there's 8 places, there's definitely 4 more that you could check. That's one thing you could do. But dude, I know that you eat at home most of the week. It's the time for the weekend. You guys want to go out for a nice dinner and go into one of the best places. You guys are, who cares? There's nothing wrong with being a foodie. I understand the nature of what you're saying, but like, I don't feel that there's something wrong with you because of it.
I appreciate that. For the record, everyone listening at home, I am firmly aware that this is a very entitled and privileged point of view from which I'm speaking. I get that. I probably sound terrible right now. And I'm sorry for that. But I'm trying to walk myself back away from the display case of shit that I think I want or need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find a way to reset.
Dude, you should go on like a Buddhist retreat or something.
A minimalist retreat.
Jean Quan. Then you can still eat the good food. You ever watch that? That's the best Chef's Table episode. The Jean Quan episode. She's not even a chef. She just cooks for the people at the monastery or whatever it's called. Is it a monastery? And it's fucking dope. And you'd be able to eat the best food. And like, what's that guy's name? The Le Bernardin chef?
Daniel Boulud? No.
I don't even know. See, here I am fucking trying to fucking flex.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name. He's some famous chef, but he's like, she's the best chef I have ever seen.
Wow.
But whatever. Like, but dude, I think that a kind of like minimalist
I think you're right.
experience would help you.
I think I need to do a thing where I go. I think I could use a trip by myself. That's something that sucks. I want to go do something that sucks, and then realize like I got through that. I learned a
And it
lot.
was
That was
actually great.
fine. That was fine. I slept on a cot, and I ate bone broth, and scrubbed the toilets in order to stay there.
Yeah, I like that.
I guess I basically just
A barter.
I need to go stay. I need to go to prison. Really, I need to be imprisoned.
Yeah, you need someone to like put a gun to your head and then like not do anything to you, and then you'll just really appreciate life.
There's a scene in Bad Santa. Have you seen
That's
that movie?
a great movie. I don't remember what happened, but I remember thinking it was great.
There's a scene there where Billy Bob Thornton basically undergoes a character transformation where, thanks to that kid and the girl he's dating, he becomes a more enlightened human being because he's a total piece of shit criminal through the first act of the movie. And towards the end, he and that his accomplice, the dwarf, are robbing the department store, and the dwarf has a list of shit that his wife has put down, and it's all nonsense, just consumer goods. And Billy Bob Thornton, I mean, it's kind of like the come to Jesus moment where he looks at him imploringly and says, "Do you really need all that shit?" And I've never forgotten the sort of sincerity with which he delivered that line as this moment of clarity of him, saying like, "No, we don't need this. Why are we doing this? We don't need all this." And I look around my home and I'm like, we don't need this shit. We don't need so much of this shit.
Yeah.
And does it even make me happy? And then I lead myself to this big fear I have, which is that, the more stuff you acquire, the less things you value.
Well, dude, it's like you're chasing the dragon with that stuff. You know what I mean? You're only as happy as the last cool new thing you got. So it's like,
yeah,
if you keep getting stuff, I mean, I don't know.
What was the last thing you bought yourself that made you really happy for a long time? Can you think of that? Whether it's an article of clothing.
I mean, it's probably like my computer. Does that even count? Is that like a necessity? My laptop that I bought myself last year.
I think that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Because had you been, how long, like, were you using a busted up laptop for a while?
Yeah.
And then you finally said, enough is enough. I can afford this. I'm going to buy a new computer.
It was a little bit more for a specific utility. I was like, I need to edit, and this other computer can't handle it.
And then you did that, and editing became so much easier.
Like, yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's a great
answer. I don't know
answer.
if that counts. Like maybe the question should be, what's the last thing you bought that you didn't need for your job?
You didn't need, yeah.
Maybe dude, somebody bought me an Apple Watch for Christmas, and it broke one day. Like I was actually at this place, Bath House in Brooklyn, nice schwitz situation, and the watch fell out of the locker and it landed perfectly on the ground and shattered.
Ooh.
And I immediately went to the Apple store and bought a new one. And
Yeah.
that item, this is an item that I do not need that brings me joy.
And it does bring you joy.
The Apple Watch brings me
Have
joy.
you seen the ad they have, by the way?
No, is it cool?
Oh my God. It's the ad of, I see it before YouTube videos where it's just a 911 call. It's an overhead drone shot of waves crashing. And it's a 911 call where a guy goes, I'm paddling, I'm in a rip current. I can't get in. I'm being pushed out to sea. I don't know what to do. And they go, okay, we'll send an air rescue right now. And then it's like, he made the call from his Apple Watch.
Yeah. I've seen the one where the person like collapses when they're jogging and it automatically, it is cool.
And you're like, holy shit.
It is cool.
You need to buy one of those.
They're cool, dude.
I don't want it.
It's a little dorky.
I don't want it because I want less access to
Oh yeah.
what my phone is doing.
Yeah,
to me.
you have to like put it on DND or you'll like get all your notifications.
Yeah.
But dude, it has a very like dad like gadgety sort of identity. Like dads love them.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a boomery thing about me that I like it.
It's cool.
But I do like it.
Interesting.
What about for you? Do you have like a
My chair. I love my chair. I've loved it since the day I got it. Every time I sit in it, it makes me instantly happier. I never don't notice how comfortable it is. It doesn't wear off on me. That and seeing it and just I'm really appreciative of my chair.
no, it's great, dude. And I think a good lesson here is, do these things that one love provide utility to their life, and do they make you happy over time? The chair, the answer is yes. I would argue spending all your money on a fucking sick hotel is worth it always. You'll make more money, and what are you going to do with all those savings? You're going to give it to your fucking kids who don't deserve it when you die.
No, no, I don't think that's what I'm going to do. It's a good question. You know,
I'm all for fucking spending it and figuring it out. It might not be responsible.
and
I don't live my life like that. Just now, as more people sort of it becomes important that I do this and that. But like, still, like, I'm all for fucking, let's just let it rip and figure it out.
It does beg the question though. What would we do with our money if we didn't if we didn't chase fads? Where would that money be going?
Yeah. So I think now I feel that I am over fad spending. I used to be really bad about it. I used to, like, in college, I wanted to buy like fancy shit and in high school, I spent all my money on DVDs. I no longer like to collect items because they just take up fucking space.
Yeah.
So I'm over that. And I don't know if it's going to get replaced with something. You might argue that like crypto or shit is just that. It feels maybe a little different, but I also don't know. And I don't know.
No, I kind of agree with you. I think with crypto, your hope is to make more money.
Right. There's hope involved.
There's hope that you're somehow making a decision to make more money, as opposed to a good where, for me, if I buy a good, occasionally I'll have the thought of, well, this will maybe appreciate in value and I could sell it someday for more.
That's what you should fucking harp on.
Yeah, but
watch people love to say that, and why not?
Yeah, I know how specious of an argument that is coming from me, because I'm probably not going to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
That is just a cop out for my own conscience.
Right.
But keep going. Sorry.
But no, it's okay. I think this, like, I'm going to go do something sick. I think that's how I've replaced my need for
experiences are invaluable.
It has replaced my need to get things. So in some way, it's just my new obsession, and it's no different than collecting sneakers.
Yeah, dude. I'm so agreed. Have I told you? I've told you that I have this urgency now of filling my life with experiences, because it has become apparent to me that we may
kids are on the way.
Yeah.
And
I say this so much to Sierra that she is now concerned by what she thinks having children
It's gonna do to
will
you.
do to me. Because she thinks that I think it's going to be a jail sentence.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that always makes me feel better is that it's a temporary jail sentence. Like for at least like eventually they get old enough that they can like, it's not like they're easier than a dog even
Correct.
eventually.
Correct.
Except for you like care about them more if they die. You're more sad if they die. So it
Yeah.
makes the stakes higher. But no, it's true. Like, but you know, those first couple of years, you're probably gonna have to be omnipresent. And then after that, you know, you can start to spice it up again.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I do think about that a bit though. I have a complete left turn scenario. If
Please.
you'd like to go there, if you don't.
No, I
have
don't want to talk anymore.
Okay, this scenario happened to a person that I know. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
She went out with a guy.
Oh.
She liked him.
Ooh.
They may have gone home together, spent the night,
Uh-huh.
right? Knocked boots.
Hanky to the panky.
Next day, he texts her and he's like, "Hey, this is weird, but I'm like pretty sure that I went out with your sister like a year ago. I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't put two and two together, but I went out with your sister." And she's like, "Did you and my sister like, you know?" And he's like, "Yes, we did."
Ooh.
And she's like, "What do I even like?" That's all. What do you have to say about that?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know. You know, there's it's obviously like, oh, but this is real. This is a firsthand situation of a person that I know very well. This isn't like I heard my friend's sister. Like this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wait, did he know? Why did he figure it out later?
I think so. I mean, they like went out and like I would argue that it's a makeable mistake. Like a lot of these dating apps, you don't see the people's last name.
Oh, it's
usually.
dating apps? Yeah, okay.
I think he met them both on dating apps. They honestly don't look similar enough. Like there are some obvious similarities, but they don't look similar.
Uh-huh.
So it's an easy mistake, in my opinion.
Got it.
And maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know, but essentially like she decided it would be too weird to continue. And I wonder, there's a couple of things that come into play because you know, say you start going out with this guy. This guy banged you and your sister. That's insane, first of all. Right? Like that's like a Hall of Fame move. Like if you're thinking about like he didn't mean to, you know? It's an insane thing that you don't hear about very often, right? No one's holding it against the guy. No one's holding it against him. But like there's important things that come into play. Like if you continue to see this guy and it works out, like that's fucked up. Like in a way, like it'll make your sister feel bad about herself. She's like, oh, maybe and granted, she now has her own guy. It shouldn't matter. But like, oh, like I liked this guy and now he liked my sister more than, you know.
Man, I'm gonna give you an answer that I feel like is something normally that you would say to me.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, they had their fun and it didn't work out, but it wasn't necessarily because that he liked the other sister better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe it was a timing thing and it shouldn't matter. Right?
Okay.
Each person judged on their own individual merits at their own time.
Totally.
Something like that. I don't
That's
know. You
very
say
good.
that shit way
No.
better than I do.
No. You said exactly.
Too broken to understand.
No, dude,
it.
I would say something like that, and you're right. I think that does make sense. What I would say though is having it be your brother or sister potentially takes that to a new level. Where it's like if you banged somebody I was dating, I wouldn't care. But if my brother did, it might just make it a little bit weirder, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. I mean, oh man, it's classic. It has happened in Friday Night Lights with Tim Riggins and his brother.
Really? I've never watched that show.
And Billy.
I heard
Yeah.
it's really good.
Oh, really?
I heard it's
Oh
incredible.
boy,
I need to watch it.
buddy. Run, don't walk to a marathon of Friday Night Lights.
Have you
Chris,
watched Euphoria? By the way, sorry.
No, I haven't. I'm curious.
I think you'd like it. You might get a little like Gen Z nauseated by it, but I think it's like really cool and well done, and I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
I have there's an example there that if you start watching, you'll know. I don't want to ruin it for you because it is a good twist to the show.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I just thought that was a pretty unique situation.
I mean, I don't know. Look, trying to think. So say I had a brother, I meet a girl, we hook up, we start dating, and I find out that she had hooked up with my brother before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
No,
probably
but
be
you
tough
don't
too.
So, but you haven't even started dating yet. You just had a one night thing that was fun, and you'd like to maybe continue, but you find out that your brother had banged her.
It'd be tough, unfortunately, just because I feel like my brother would hold that over me.
Right.
With a guy, with women, with sisters, something tells me they're not gonna hold that over. You know, they're nicer.
They'll be more chill
than
about
that,
it. That's
than
interesting.
that. But yeah,
Interesting.
that's my instinct.
So she was sort of like toying with the idea of continuing, but then was like, it's too weird, right? And like everybody in the room was like, it's too fucking weird.
Huh.
That was like the overwhelming, but they're not sort of like deep thinkers like you and I, Francis.
Mhm.
They
Right.
weren't able to come to the, I don't know, whatever. It's funny. So
They're not.
that's it.
Yeah, they're not enlightened.
I just thought it was like an interesting scenario.
Yeah,
It was almost
sure.
like an email scenario.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, this isn't an email, but I like did something weird yesterday. So my friend hosted this event he's in like some Columbia Masters program, and he hosted a ping pong event. And he's like, dude, come. He's like, some of these guys are pretty good. Like, come to the event. I'm like, okay, cool. And I sort of had been editing all day, and I kind of just like threw on whatever. I was wearing these sort of like blue pants. These like blue fucking, these like Lululemon kind of knockoff blue pants, right? And I throw on like my winter coat, which is blue as well. So I'm just in this blue fucking suit. I just look like an idiot. And I put on my tennis shoes because I want to like go and fucking play and win, right? I'm like trying to get W's here. And I show up to this thing, and it's sort of like this master's program event. And like, yes, I whooped everyone's ass, but like, it wasn't as cool because I just showed up too ready to play ping pong. I just looked like a loser standing there in my like tennis shoes. I'm kind of like holding my paddle, waiting for the next game. And like, it goes from being impressive to being like, dude, that like ping pong Rain Man was like a fucking tool, dude. And I started to feel really self-conscious. You got to have balance in a situation like that.
Well, here's my question. When new opponents would come up to you, did you maintain the same level of intensity and sort of ability against each person? Or would you sort of moderate your level based on the ability of your opponent?
So what I would do in a situation like that where like nobody can beat me, well, my one friend he can theoretically beat me if he like has a good day, but like probably not. So what I'll do in those situations, I play in a way that makes it fun for me, but that still looks like that's my strategy, but they just don't know that I can actually play a different kind of strategy if I need to.
Yeah, smart.
So it doesn't look like I'm being too intense, actually. It just looks like I'm getting everything back and like blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
So my style isn't douchey, but I just look like a douche. And I'm also beating everybody.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm like, and I like don't know anyone. I'm just like this like random fucking guy. I don't know, dude. I felt really self-conscious. And I didn't enjoy the victories. I was like 10-0.
I don't know what to tell you on this one. I don't know what to say to you on this one. I mean, I think the simple answer is try less hard at an event like that.
Like if I was going to go, I was like, I haven't like really done anything active today. Like I can just kind of play a style that will make me move around a lot. I'll sweat. It'll feel good. I want to go do this. And I show up to this networking event dressed in athletic clothes like an idiot, wearing very loud tennis shoes that I bought off the clearance rack on tenniswarehouse.com that are like pink and blue and like, I don't know, dude. It was a bad look. I think next time, like I should have worn like casual sneakers at least.
Yeah, that would be helpful. That would be. I got a question for you. What is the thing in your life right now where, if you can think of it, that is pure fun to you?
Drinking Negronis.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that you got a Negroni kick right now?
I'm on a Negroni kick right now, and
I'm gonna have to learn how to make them.
I haven't been drinking that much, but I've been trying to like have a healthier relationship with wanting to have a lot of fun when I drink and not over drinking in terms of like volume or blowback on my next day or the surrounding days. So like I'm trying to relegate like giving myself a night of drinking and see if I can kind of maintain a healthy lifestyle around it. So tonight is supposed to be my night. It's supposed to be my Negroni night.
This is a really good step you've taken. There was an
Good.
article I read about intentional drinking that would really struck a chord with me. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Where they talked about Chris.
What, Chris?
I'm not even laughing at that. I'm laughing to myself because whenever I'm like hungover, I just text Julio and I just never forget. He's just like, I fucking love drinking, dude. Drinking is fun. It's the best. And he's so
My
right.
favorite thing. I love it. And to the point, dude, I've been harping on this, and Hillary's like, "Do you have a problem?" I'm like, "You've been dating me for years. You know I don't have a problem. Like, I have a healthy relationship with alcohol. I just like have also like goals and things that are important to me, and it's hard to balance them with a regular drinking schedule." It's so much fun. I love it. I love boozing, kid.
I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, so
But here's
tell me about the article.
something interesting. So, this article talks about how they have this term about all these sober curious people.
Yeah.
Drinkers who aren't necessarily worried about how much they drink, but wonder if, what would life be like if I drank a little less, whatever. And I'm a little bit in that camp, not from like a high-minded point of view. I don't think I drink too much or that it's even bad for my health necessarily, but I do think that one thing this article pointed out is how, to be a little more intentional about the drinks you choose. So like you're at a company holiday party or something, and you go get your second or third kind of barely cold Corona,
Right.
because you're there and you don't know what else to do.
Right.
And it's like, do you really want that beer?
Right.
Right? Compare that beer to Friday, your workday ends, you go into the fridge, you go into your freezer, you get a frosted mug that you've been frosting, and you pour your beer so there's not too much foam, nice and slow, a beer of your favorite beer, great IPA from a local brewery, and you drink that slowly.
Sounds nice.
From your chair. Think about the gulf in enjoyment and intention between that Friday beer and the third Corona at the wedding or whatever.
Totally.
That's a totally different drinking experience. Same amount of alcohol, same amount of volume, whatever. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And to me, it's been more like, okay, I'd rather have more of those Friday beers. Shout out Friday beers.
Shout out Friday beers, dude.
Than those shitty, I'm still here, like I haven't had a drink in a while, like, my hands are empty, whatever. Oh, I need a refill, that kind of thing.
Totally. Totally. 100%. And not even that, like, so that 100, like the type of drinking, absolutely. But more importantly to me is sort of the setting.
Yeah.
It's nice to like plan your fun nights, because at least what used to happen to me, like I would kind of have a night before the actual night, and then the actual night would be ruined because I had fun randomly.
Yeah.
You don't want to completely close yourself off to like organic fun, but it's nice to sort of like plan organic fun time if and when you can.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Tonight, Sierra is going out with some work friends, and I therefore made plans to see some old buddies that I haven't seen in a while from my old job. And I haven't seen these guys in a while, and we're all going to meet up for some drinks, and I am ready.
Yeah.
I am excited.
What has your alcohol intake been like this month?
Not much. I'm really not drinking much.
Mhm.
And it's been nice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that too is that I started taking creatine.
And because like too much alcohol will make it hard to get mass.
I don't know. Every time I say anything about creatine, I instantly get 15 DMs from like muscle builders who are like, that's all bullshit. Those rumors have been dispelled. You need to read this article. Which, by the way, I appreciate. It has given me peace of mind. I'm not that worried about it. The point is, I know it's a new thing for my body. And in light of that, I don't want to ask too much of my body as I add this new thing.
Yeah.
So piling a night of 12 drinks on top of this new supplement that I know is filtered through your kidneys, it feels like I'm asking for my kidneys to take on a lot of new responsibility.
Yeah, totally. So like this is my thing. Like sober January, I've been drinking, but like not much, probably like 3 or 4 times in this month, which for me is
That's
like
really good.
not a lot.
That's excellent.
Thank you, but I'm not attempting to like be excellent or anything. I'm just want to set kind of like a healthy precedent. I have these tasks that I need to do. I'm like, let's sort of like hibernate a little bit and like see what we can do, whatever. But it's hard to live that kind of life in the city. This is a city where when it's fucking cold, all there is to do is drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like eat and drink, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like, you'd be like, oh, well, what about all the, like when you live here, that's the reality.
Yeah.
And like LA is really nice because having a healthy lifestyle there actually feels good. Like there's so much fun, nice day stuff you can do there.
Yeah.
When it's just freezing here, it's just like, dude, all I want is macaroni and cheese and the fattest fucking Negroni and Bad Bunny on loop. That is all I want. That is all that brings me joy. So it's been like a bummer. I've had a little bit of a bummer month, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's good for me because like not everything needs to always feel good. You know what I mean?
Very, very true.
Some of the things that feel the best come from sacrificing that instinct to always have to feel good. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like enjoy that. I don't know.
I gotta tell you, man. Though, this is this for me. Not having golf in my life is not fun.
Yeah. When does it start up?
April 1st.
Okay.
We got 2 more months.
So are you going to do any golf trips? I mean, you have the ski trip. Are you like a winter golf trip guy?
Not really.
Is it just
If I
too
go
much of
down
a
and
bitch
see
to
my
bring your
parents in
clubs?
Florida, I leave my clubs down in Florida, and if I go down to see my folks down there, I play with them.
Do you have an extra pair or set or whatever?
No, I just ship it down there.
Oh, cool.
They have a great company. I'm not going to say its name, no free ads, but that ships basically just golf clubs, and it's really cheap.
That's
and
cool.
You can ship it from club to club. It's easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to play tennis more this year when it gets warmer.
Yeah.
I've gone so long without playing that like I'm gonna like get blisters. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, you're a loser.
I know, I'm a loser. But dude, you didn't. Sorry, I never asked you the question back. What is like the thing that is bringing you joy at this moment?
I really love skiing. I mean, for my money, there's not much that can beat skiing in terms of the sensation of the experience. You're outside for hours in the winter.
That's nice.
That doesn't happen really in the winter. And you're exercising outside. So you're not that cold, hopefully. I mean, unless it's super, super cold, but if you're skiing hard enough, you should be all right. You're on the chairlift with no music. People aren't taking their phones out because their hands get cold. So for the most part, it's uninterrupted conversation, catching up with friends in the mountain air, which is fresh and clean. There's things to watch. You can watch people ski. You can watch the trees. You can look at the mountain ranges around you. And at the end of the day, you have that first intentional drink and you fucking earned it.
Yeah.
Because you've been exercising all day.
And it's like, in your opinion, where does it rank as far as like exercise goes?
Buddy, I mean, you can make a ski day as hard as you want. We had one day out in Vail where we skied from like 9 to 3 without stopping for lunch. My body was in bad shape.
Wow. Okay. So
I mean,
it's like a primo workout.
It was too much. It was too much exercise.
Wow,
it was probably like a 3,000 calorie burning day.
Wow.
It was insane.
That's crazy.
And yeah, I mean, you don't need that much exercise, but a day of skiing beats out a long Peloton ride or a gym workout any day of the week.
Interesting. That's
Yeah.
cool. Dude, that sounds like a fucking blast, man. I wish that I was a skier.
Skiing is awesome.
It's nice to have that like uninterrupted, like, dude, I've said it before on the pod, but like sometimes if I like have an MRI or something, that like forced, getting used to you to have no other option, it makes you think really well.
Yeah.
And it's a nice thing too. That's why I like the spa, dude. Forced relaxation. Okay, we got an email here and we'll wrap this puppy up. This is from a college listener. It's always nice to know that we have a good range of age and a good age range of listeners.
Absolutely.
This one's pretty funny. Okay. What's up, Oops the P? Hope all is well and good. Love you guys. Best podcast out there. Yada, yada, yada. Basically, I'm a sophomore at USC right now. We were having a wine Wednesday yesterday. Have you ever heard of that, Francis?
No.
I haven't either, but he explains, which is basically when everyone from a specific fraternity and a sorority have a massive party on a Wednesday and drink wine. Sounds lovely.
Not what we did, but okay.
It's a good time. So at Wine Wednesday, in the midst of the chaos, I saw a cute girl standing quietly on the exterior of the, quote, pit. I needed a break from the action and went up to go talk to her. We talked for a while, and she was super cool. She was a very calm and genuine person, which is rare for girls at USC. Eventually, the cops came to shut the place down because the cops hate fun. In the chaos, we kind of just went our separate ways. I figured I'd see her again soon enough. Now, this is all pretty fucking boring, but here's what makes me bring you guys into this. While suffering through hungover class this Thursday morning, I was on Instagram and decided to look her up. It turns out this girl has 1.4 million followers and is a singer or something.
Oh.
What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Give up and never speak to her again? Pretend like I never saw that she's a superior human? Or make fun of her for being famous because who the hell is famous and still goes to college? Pretty random situation. Just hoping you guys might be able to give some insight.
That is really cool. That's really cool. I dig that. I like this story. Listen, I cannot express enough the importance of shooting for the stars. You've got to try. You really do. You've got to take a shot and ask this girl out, or try to find a way. And if she says no, who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
If she says no, like, or is like, who do you think you are? Like, why would I ever go out? Whatever. What's the worst that can happen? She's not going to write a song about you and then have the world know that you're the loser who asked her out.
And if she does, that'll be a good look for you.
Yeah.
Bro.
You will, you will get peace of mind from the rejection from this girl. I promise you.
Rejection is pee, dude.
It's pee. It's pee.
Rejection is pee.
Not getting rejection letters from the top 15 law schools, what gave me peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because if I had not applied to them, because I'll never get in, then I would have always wondered, like, why the fuck didn't I apply? Maybe I would have gotten in. Nope, they were right. They let me know you're not good enough, and that was fine.
Yeah.
That was fine. Leave no stone unturned.
Right, but don't get ahead of yourself, right? Don't just assume how the entire thing is going to go. You have no idea. Chances are this girl will say yes. And then when you're on a date, it'll come up that she has so many followers, and she'll tell you how many guys don't actually approach her because they're too intimidated by her.
That's right.
That'll all be great. Here's where the problem sets in. All of a sudden, you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend, and now she's like, you're just not on the same level as her, and like, you can't keep her interested, and like, you see the end coming, and it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy that makes you so insecure and hate
Yeah, you're
yourself.
Jason Segel.
And you're not wrong for that, for those feelings.
Yeah, holding her purse on the red carpet.
Exactly.
Out of the shot, Big Bird. Whatever.
That's the best movie of all time. But dude, listen, you guys are in college anyway, so like, whatever. It's not like you guys are getting married tomorrow. Definitely try. I wouldn't go the make fun of her route. Like, you don't want to like knock people down a peg to get them on your level. That's just like toxic behavior, sort of.
No, don't do that.
Champion her and take her out.
Be nice to her.
Just be a
but
gentleman.
talk to her like she's not a big deal.
Yeah, treat her like a normal
person. Talk
person.
to her about normal stuff. And then if you do get her to, on a second date, and you somehow manage to say, like, want to watch a movie in my dorm room, watch Notting Hill with Hugh Grant and Aaron Brockovich, Julia Roberts, because that's the classic movie about a normal guy who works in a bookshop, a travel bookshop, no less, who manages to date and fall in love with a massive mega movie star who is many stations above him in life, and yet somehow it works.
You know, it's funny. I just picture him like explaining that all to her, and her being like, shh, and like leaning in and giving him a big smoocherino. Good luck, dude. Let us know how it goes.
I mean, he's just a boy standing in front of a girl, asking her to love him. That's all.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Francis, where can we check you out?
Gotham Comedy Club, April 8th and 9th. You guys, it's going to be a time. Come out and enjoy the fun. Also, Bananas Comedy Club, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, February 18th and 19th. Tickets are all at francisellis.com.
Amazing. Catch me at Harpoon Harry. Panama City Beach, February 26th. It's going to be a good time if you're down there on the old Panhandle. And if you're not, make the drive. It'll be a good time. Also, what else? We got anything else? I think we maybe have some new dates coming potentially soon. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Maybe some new merch. Chris, what did you just say? YouTube channel. We got some cool new side content that we think you guys might enjoy. Some other videos. And that's it. Bye-bye.